Today we're going to work on learning how to make our own ear wires. We're going to make these C-shaped wires, which have a nice little hook for you to dangle your earring from, and a little flare at the end to make it go through the ear nice and smoothly. Today we're going to make them with copper. I recommend that anytime you're trying a new technique you use copper. It's less expensive, so if you don't get it right the first time, it's not that big of a deal. Also, you'll need a bench block, a file, something to wrap your wire around to make your ear wire, a plastic hammer, a pair of chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and wire cutters. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut off a length of our wire that we'll be able to easily wrap around a round object. Anything about 10 millimeters works well. I use this Micron pen. I have a bunch of them, so it makes it really easy. And you just start coiling the wire around your object. You could also use a dowel or another pen, anything that has a uniform size throughout the barrel of the object. And you can see how that's coiled around nice and tight. Then you just slip it off the end. And now you see we have this sort of flat part here that doesn't quite go with the rest of the coil. I usually cut that off just so that I don't have to worry about it. And I cut with the flush side against the wire that we're going to keep, so then that way we'll have a nice straight edge on the wire. Now it's time to take your round nose pliers and grab the end of your coil where you just snipped off the excess and make a loop. Just a nice, simple jeweler's loop. And now you have the loop that your earring will dangle from. Now if you look at it and it's not quite flush, you can go ahead and rock it so it is. So there. So now we're going to take the ear wire and we're going to go to about 4 o'clock from the loop that we just made. So go around clockwise until right between about 3 and 4 o'clock. And snip again with the flush end of your wire towards the wire that you're going to use. And then we could just flatten it out with a little bit of rocking again. Now if you'd like it to, you can leave it like this. I like to have the flare at the end. I think that it makes it look a little more finished, and it also makes it easier to get through your ear. So you just take your chain nose pliers and you bend it out a little bit. And then you can use them to sort of flatten that part that you flared out. Now you're going to take your file and you want to make this as smooth as possible. You can do this for as long as you need to until when you rub your finger against here it doesn't catch on anything. Because that's what you want to have. You want to have it as smooth as possible to go through your ears. Now I go with my bench block and I use the plastic side of my hammer and I just pat it to make sure that it's flattened. You could also hammer harden your ear wire. I prefer to tumble them. It makes for a nice finish on the ends and it also hardens it up pretty nicely.